guys, so today I'm going to be starting this little mini series called This or That Drugstore or High-End, where basically I'm going to go through all the different types of makeup, so foundations, concealers, blushes, eyeshadows, etc., and tell you guys my recommendations and whether you should buy a drugstore or high-end of that particular product. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. As we go through this, it'll probably make a little bit more sense. And I'm doing this so that you guys can get an idea of what I personally think you should spend your money on and what I think you should save, because I know that's a big question when it comes to beauty, is what should I go to Sephora to purchase and what should I go to, you know, like Walmart or Target to purchase. So today I'm going to be doing face stuff, and let's just get on into it. So starting with face primers, I say Splurge, and my favorite is the Makeup Forever HD High Definition Primer. Highly recommend going high-end when you're doing face primers, just because the drugstore market doesn't have a great selection of primers really, and they all kind of work the same, where a high-end market, they have a lot of primers that will tailor to different skin types. So whether you have dry skin, oily skin, combination skin, whether your skin is uneven in texture or tone, you can really sort of target what you need and get a primer for that. Where with drugstores, you just don't get that much variety, and this is my favorite primer of all time. I've tried drugstore primers and nothing has beat this Makeup Forever one. It just works underneath any foundation I put it with, and I love this stuff. So I definitely say high-end, also because the quality of the ingredients are going to be a little bit better, and since it's going directly on top of your skin with nothing else on top of it, you know, to kind of create a barrier, this kind of acts as that barrier. You want to make sure that what you're putting on there is good and good for your skin. For foundations, again, I'm going to say go high-end and spend some extra cash, just because it's, again, one of those products that you're putting directly on top of your bare skin or even on top of a primer. And I just think that it's something where you want good quality ingredients. You want to make sure that they have some type of a skincare benefit to them, since they are just, you know, right there on your face. And if you're like me and you have acne-prone skin, you're going to notice that drugstore foundations, while you do have a couple that you may really like, high-end ones are going to generally work a little bit better for you. My two favorites are the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Full Coverage Foundation. Love this stuff in kind of the summer months where my skin is a little bit more oily. It's amazing, really nice matte finish, really long wearing, but it never looks cakey and it doesn't look too dry. And then in the winter, I really like this Sephora 10-Hour Wear Perfection Foundation. I really like this because it's kind of in that middle market between high-end and drugstore, and it just works so well. It's long wearing, but at the same time, decently hydrating. So when my skin is a little bit more parched, it will work to sort of bring hydration back to my skin. But at the same time, it doesn't make my skin really oily and really shiny. So I really enjoy both of these, and I'm going to say generally, if you're wondering if you should purchase drugstore or high-end foundation, go high-end. All right, let's talk about some concealer business. I'm torn in the middle. I have my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer here, which I love. I've been using this concealer forever now. In winter, I like to use this on top of blemishes because it's that perfect consistency where it's not drying, but it's not too hydrating. So it doesn't create a weird sheen over like any type of acne spots, but at the same time, it provides enough hydration to your under eye area. It's just great stuff. But I also really like my Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer, which I currently don't have because I used it all up. And if I use something all up, that really says a lot, especially if I use it up because I enjoy it, not just because I wanted to get rid of it. So I'm kind of torn. With drugstore concealers, I find that there's not a lot that are great, where with high-end concealers, there really are a lot of high-end concealers that are amazing. But if you find the right one, like the Rimmel Match Perfection, which is my personal like holy grail from the drugstore, it's so similar to this NARS one that it's kind of hard for me to decide. So I think it really depends on what you're wanting. I think that the Maybelline under eye concealers are awesome. I also think that, like I said, the Rimmel Match Perfection is great, but really those are the only ones that come to my mind as far as being really great drugstore concealers, where this NARS one, the Tarte concealers are amazing, the Cover FX concealers are amazing, Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer is incredible. There's a lot more high-end options, I think, for good concealers, but really I think you just need to do your research. You need to try it out and see what's going to work for you. So yeah, I'm torn. I like this one and I like my Rimmel one just as much. And unfortunately, I just can't make a good decision. But I guess if push came to shove, I would probably say high-end again. I'm so sorry, you guys. I promise I'll get to drugstore stuff soon. Just because, like I said, you have more variety, there's a better chance that you're going to find something that you really like. All right, let's talk about powders. I think for sure with powders, you can go drugstore. There are some really awesome drugstore powders. I think a big thing is trying to find powders that are talc-free if you have sensitivity to that in your skin. The new or new-ish Maybelline Dream Wonder powder is talc-free, which can be awesome if you have really acne-prone skin. A powder that I'm not too sure whether or not is talc-free, but it works really well for me is the Revlon Nearly Naked. Works just as well as any high-end powder I've ever tried. One of my favorite powders is the Carez Wild Rose Brightening Powder, and honestly, I think I just use that because I've had it for a long time and I'm kind of getting to that point where I just kind of want to use it up. But when I use this compared to that, I don't really notice a big difference. For me, a powder is a powder, and I think that as long as it's light, as long as it's finely milled, as long as it's not going to look cakey, you're not really going to be able to tell whether it's a high-end one or a drugstore one on your face. So I would say drugstore. There are some awesome options. Like I said, that Maybelline one's great. This Nearly Naked one is by far my absolute favorite. I also like the Revlon Photo Ready one. The Physicians Formula powders are incredible, and so yeah, I think you can definitely save your money on powders and pick something up from the drugstore. Alright guys, so that is it for the face stuff. I'm going to be doing cheek stuff, lip stuff, and eye stuff here soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was kind of short and kind of fast, but there's really not that many like face products you can talk about without getting like really technical, and I want to keep this simple, just kind of the basics that you guys need and my recommendations, whether you should save or whether you should splurge. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye bye.